What if the next decisive moment in the war over Ukraine didn't come from a ground offensive, but from something launched at 30,000 feet, faster than a bullet and smarter than ever before? On July 25, 2025, a new chapter in modern air warfare opened when Russia introduced a missile that could redraw the map of aerial superiority. And with it, Russia now possesses a tool that not only enhances its 4th and 5th generation fighters, but also redefines the threat envelope over Ukraine. So what exactly is the R-77M? How does it work, and why does its appearance in Ukraine matter? Let's dive into this game-changing debut. The quiet tension in the air war over Ukraine shattered on July 25, 2025. The first signs of something new came not from official statements, but from a keen-eyed analysis of open-source imagery. A Russian Su-35S patrolling over contested airspace was spotted carrying 2 unfamiliar missiles, longer, sleeker, with aerodynamic profiles that defied typical loadouts. The cropped rear fins confirmed what analysts had suspected for months: the R-77M was no longer in testing. It was operational. That visual cue was just the beginning. Within days, missile wreckage recovered from Ukrainian-controlled territory provided physical evidence, debris with distinct aerodynamic features that matched the R-77M's known structure. The pattern of deployment, corroborated by satellite imagery and statements from both Russian and Ukrainian defense officials, pointed to one thing: the missile had been fired in live combat. But this wasn't an isolated shot fired into the void. The timing was deliberate, and so was the platform. Russian pilots flying Su-35S fighters, a core component of the country's advanced air fleet, engaged Ukrainian fighters and support aircraft using the R-77M, marking the missile's formal combat debut. It's a move that closely aligns with footage from October 2020, when the missile was first seen publicly under a Su-57 during centennial celebrations at the Chkalov State Flight Test Center. The R-77M isn't just a weapon, it's a statement. To understand its significance, we need to rewind. That missile became the R-77M, also known internally as the K-77M or Izdeli-180. By the early 2000s and 10s, development accelerated. Engineers stripped away outdated features, overhauled the propulsion system, and embedded next-generation electronics. The R-77M became not just an upgrade, but a reimagining of the very concept of air-to-air combat. At the heart of the R-77M lies a lethal combination of propulsion, guidance, and design, each element engineered to push the boundaries of what a modern air-to-air missile can do. The most transformative feature is its dual-pulse, solid-fuel rocket motor. With 2 bursts of propulsion, the missile preserves energy for high-speed terminal maneuvers. Targets that once might have escaped with sharp last-second turns now find themselves trapped in its engagement envelope. Its range? Up to 190 kilometers. Speed? Over Mach 4. Then comes the ESA radar seeker, the 9B1348M to be exact. Active electronically scanned array seekers are at the cutting edge of radar technology, offering superior resistance to jamming, a broader field of view, and lightning-fast target lock-on. Combined with a multi-mode guidance suite featuring inertial navigation, mid-course data link updates, and active homing, the missile can pursue evasive or stealthy targets with brutal efficiency. Traditional lattice fins have been replaced by cropped conventional fins, reducing drag and making the missile easier to carry internally on stealth jets like the Su-57. The design also minimizes radar reflection, meaning it's harder for enemy aircraft to detect until it's too late. In practice, the R-77M functions as a fire-and-forget assassin. Once launched, it uses inertial navigation to close the distance, then switches to its ESA seeker for terminal guidance. The 2-pulse motor lets it conserve energy, only accelerating again in the final moments, perfect for chasing down fast-moving or maneuvering targets. Its seeker resists jamming, its data link enables mid-flight updates, and it doesn't rely on the pilot's radar after launch. This frees up the launching aircraft to evade or re-engage, improving survivability. The R-77M fits seamlessly into multiple roles. It can be hidden inside the Su-57's internal bays to maintain stealth or carried externally by Su-35 and Su-30SM-2 jets. This dual compatibility gives Russia flexibility in how and where it uses the missile, spreading its capability across different airframes. So why does Russia develop this idea now, and why the Su-35 and Su-57? Russia's Su-35S is already one of the world's top fourth-generation fighters, with unmatched agility and powerful radar. Adding the R-77M turns it into a true long-range threat. Ukrainian fighters like the MiG-29 and Su-27 must now contend with incoming missiles from nearly 200 kilometers away. Then there's the Su-57. As Russia's stealth flagship, it benefits from carrying the R-77M internally, preserving its low radar signature, while still being able to launch devastating long-range strikes. Together, these platforms give Russia a formidable 1-2 punch in BVR combat. For Ukraine, and for NATO air planners watching closely, the implications are serious. Air tactics must now account for faster, smarter, longer-ranged missiles and the platforms that launch them. The debut of the R-77M is more than a battlefield development. It's a warning shot across the skies of modern warfare. For Russia, it represents technological maturity and confidence. A weapon that began its journey in the final years of the Soviet Union now flies as one of the most capable air-to-air threats in the world. For Ukraine and the West, it marks a new phase in the aerial chess match. Future dogfights won't just be about pilot skill or aircraft agility, they'll hinge on who detects, disrupts, and strikes first. Electronic warfare, countermeasures, and missile defense will need to evolve just as fast. And as the war in Ukraine drags on, this missile won't be the last debut we see. If the R-77M is any indication, the next wave of air-to-air combat has already begun. And with that, thanks for watching.